Then we could always just put on like,
You know,
you can put
simple,
conference chants,
simple is better.
titles on it,
You just
with
add-
stickers, yeah, you can just add that stuff on top.
Yeah.
And then just do black.
It's changed.
Gail, do you have additional copies?
What's that?
Do you have any additional copies?
Gary, you can
Yeah.
have this one. He's
Hoarding them.
I just had double checked it.
Thank you.
Oh.
I've seen some odds, they're all private.
That's the thing.
Bring it down.
Or-
The original photos. He's in Colorado. Yeah. That's why. He was that. Instead of that thing like him, and Jesus, up at 9,000 feet. Oh, yeah.
You seen that down? What's average? 6, 7%?
Like yours on the ground? Yeah, but not, maybe 4 fields of yours on the ground.
Gotcha. I didn't take any pictures.
We got it.
Yeah, you do. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
That's extra.
Yeah.
cards. But I think, I don't think it's worth it.
Good.
Really good car. This was 8 years.
5 o'clock, I will call the special meeting regarding the school district order. Stacy, give please stand for the allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jackson, Flanagan, Bryson, Chris, Fink, Kratz, Hermanson, King, Rickers, Stafford.
Item 3 is public comments. Does anybody have anything for public comments? If not, item 4 is adoption of the agenda.
Second.
Motion by Ricker, second by Zuber to adopt the agenda. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 5 is discussion action regarding a student transfer to the alternative school in Myrtle Plain.
Yep, we have a student that's come back to us, that's got a lot of trauma going on. We are worried about attendance and credit recovery for this semester, so we're here started up there.
Make a motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Chris, seconded by Rickers to approve that transfer. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 6, discussion action regarding donations. Cap?
Yeah, so this was just in regards to the Touchdown Club possibly donating we're gonna wrap the current trailer that we use to transport the equipment to games, the old band trailer. After Mitch has got some quotes, it's a little pricier and they can't guarantee that they're not gonna see some of the ghost lines and seams. I think I talked to some of the Touchdown Club members, it sounds like that they wanna proceed with a brand new trailer. And then go ahead, with that. They'll probably have to order, it won't be ready by, obviously, this year, but going forward next year, so they'll be bringing that back.
Okay. Thank you for that, Nick. And there'll be no action on item 6. Item 7, discussion action regarding participation in the USDA National School Lunch Program. Gil?
Yeah, you probably all recall that we were suspended from the school lunch program for this year. At the end of last year, we filed an appeal, and we just heard last week that the administrative law judge in Madison granted our appeal, overturned the decision. So the purpose of this meeting would be, I'll just give you the three things that I think we need to talk about tonight. Number one, moving forward, I have not been yet able to get in touch with anybody at the DPI. It's been radio silence. I've tried phone, email every day. Today, for the first time, I kicked it up to the state superintendent, Jill Underly, left her a message. Eventually, I will get a hold of somebody there. They have 20 days to appeal the decision, if I'm reading it right, so
That's probably why they haven't responded.
yeah, they're probably figuring out what they're gonna do.
From the initial time you got the letter,
Yeah,
and that was a week ago,
coming up on, yeah.
pretty much.
So, the things that we need to talk about are, now that we're back in, do we go with Taher, who company we had at the end of last year, or do we go on our own? We could hire a new director. I would suggest at this point, going on our own is not a good idea. It'd be very, very challenging. If we would have hired a new director last year in June, and we had the whole summer to train and prepare and hire people and things, get the menu set, that would have been one thing. But to now have a very short window before we want to get back in as soon as we can, we have to, in my opinion, bring Taher in, all the knowledge, all the menus already done, the ordering guides and everything set to start on day one. Still gonna be a lot, hiring new people and training new people, but that'd be my suggestion for that. Then we have to decide along those same lines. We could talk about and even take action right now deciding what to do based on whether or not the only two possibilities, the DPI is either gonna appeal it or they're not. So we could make decisions right now based on either one of those if we wanted to, or we could just wait and see what they do. But if they don't appeal, I think it's pretty straightforward, get back in as soon as we can. If they do appeal, last time the judge had 4 months to make the decision. We would have to decide, do we get back in and maybe do a month or two of training and hiring, and then have maybe 6 or 8 weeks in before that next decision comes down? Or do we wait until the second decision and keep doing what we're doing?
That would have to depend, does our lawyer believe from the day we got kicked out, will we be reimbursed? From the day they wrongly kicked us out, will we be reimbursed? So if we go with them in that other extra period of time, will we be getting reimbursed for that time too?
Advice
What does the judge or the lawyer say?
Advice I've been getting along those lines are that we definitely have a case, an argument to make, that from the time we were wrongfully kicked out on May 20th, the last 2 weeks of last year, we should have still been in. We were serving reimbursable meals, we should have been getting reimbursed. And the first part of this year, from the first day of school till we got the notice last week that we were back in, whatever we were losing, we can make a strong argument that that was their fault, for wrongfully terminating us. As far as moving forward after that, I don't know that, it'd probably be two separate questions, so we have to answer that question. His advice was that I work with the DPI first, see what they have to say about it. Then, if they don't answer the way we want, maybe he writes them a letter to their lawyer, and then they answer they're still not interested in doing anything. Then we'd have to make a decision, how far do we want to go and what all do we want to invest in that process. But that'll be a ways away.
So basically, another judge would have to overturn the appeal?
No, they could just appeal the appeal, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
a judge has to rule on it though.
Yeah, judge has to rule on it, so basically he has to overturn the appeal.
It's still 4 months?
Yeah,
Appeal
but
is?
we could be out of ways, if they appeal it, then a judge comes back and looks at their appeal.
Correct.
So we're a ways, we could be 3 months out still. We got the holidays coming through there. It could be January,
I think you
February.
just try to get it regardless.
I
But we've
agree.
got like 14 days from now to know whether or not.
They're gonna appeal.
Right.
And them not answering the phone tells me they're in talks right now to see what they're doing. Or they've already made up their mind to appeal, we don't know.
They work.
Huh? You know what, that's the question, are they working? Is that federal?
Yeah.
I think it's Wisconsin.
It's Wisconsin now, how far it has to get bumped up the line and how that whole thing transfers, I don't know, with the federal government shutdown. I don't know if they can answer the question if they gotta go higher on the
That's
chain.
true.
But if they're only given 20 days, they shouldn't get a time lapse on not being able to answer the question.
They are working for sure, but they do have to communicate with the USDA possibly, and they might not be.
I don't know.
Well, your lawyer's saying, go ahead and talk to DPI.
Right.
DPI's lawyer is saying, don't you dare talk to Farmers right now until we figure out what we're doing. So it might not work. But there's no precedent either.
Right.
We're the only one in the history of the state.
That's what it said. Yeah.
So we can't even look at what has happened elsewhere to say, oh, well, then,
Well, let's get
what would be the
past
point
that.
of them appealing it is in my mind, though.
I'm hoping they think that it would not be a good look, that they're trying to fight vigorously to keep the poverty, kids in Darlington from.
What's weird, Jason, though, is Todd or whoever, the last time we asked them if they've ever seen anybody kicked out, and he basically said he doesn't know of anybody that's ever been kicked out. That's what he said. They work with a lot of schools, 2/3, you know what I mean?
And the judge said that too. I think I read that, right?
Yeah.
The only district that's ever been kicked out.
Yeah, so it only kind of need to break this into a couple of things. If we just, do we want to do it ourselves or go with Tar? That's decision one.
Yep.
Then when do we want to restart, really? Those are really the only two questions we have to
Yeah.
answer today, right?
Yep.
So
I would strongly suggest we have to go with Tahoe. As far as the second question, that's just a discussion for you guys, I don't
Well, I
know.
think we go with Todd, I think we just wait for
for
2
sure.
weeks before we do anything with them.
What's that, Jeff?
I think we go with Todd, I mean, that's pretty much, I think.
Second semester's what, January 19th, you said, Mitch?
Yeah,
Day one's January 19th.
and then we wait until further decision for 2 weeks, because we can't, nothing's gonna happen in 2 weeks anyways, and we'll know, and if they don't appeal it, then we just go with Todd and get back going at it.
If they do
Otherwise-
appeal it, and if the appeal is gonna be heard 4 months later, what do we do then?
We wait.
Just keep doing what we're doing until we
But I
hear.
thought, is it, if we're doing DPI or USDA food with Tar during the appeal, will we get reimbursed?
Yes.
Okay, so
That's
that
what we
changes,
need to be doing.
it. So then in my mind, we say, all right, let's see what happens, let's wait the extra 2 weeks, find out what happens after the 20-day mark. We go with Topper, either, and then we know either we're in it during an appeal, or we're just in it forever.
We're assuming we're gonna get paid.
Does it really matter?
I don't think it-
I think we should,
We just go.
we're in, yeah, because I don't even think you need to, in my opinion. Why was
Because we're back in no matter what.
We're back in, what's the precedent
How
of
long you
waiting
stay in, but we're back
for
in.
14 days? I
But
think-
if we lost the appeal again, and we have them come in, we're gonna go back.
But for the
real
next,
fast.
but for the next 14 days, does that give us a chance to use on the stuff we bought? Does that give us a chance to, all right, we've got food.
We're not gonna start with tar in the next 14 days, so it gives us time.
Right, does it give us a chance to, all right, let's sell through the vending machine inventory, let's cook all the, whatever kind of chicken nuggets that don't meet the standard chicken nuggets, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Get that used up, say, okay, in 2 weeks, we ought to be cleaned out the freezer, and go to Topper.
If I started tomorrow, though, working toward trying to get Tahoe back, it's gonna be more than 2 weeks before we could still do what
I
you're
think
saying.
I start
to
small
make
rolling
sense.
now.
You could talk to them, tell them what's going on, I mean,
Yeah.
that's not against anything.
I talked to them and they're willing to come back. They said the pricing would be similar to last year, just everything the same.
Would you look at a target date, maybe December 1st? Or you wanna wait to see?
I think you say, as soon as Topper can
Yeah,
physically do it,
we don't have to go on semester day, because that doesn't mean.
No, yeah, I'm just asking.
because
Even if they overturn the appeal, there's still, then you have, like you said, you still have 4 months that we still could be getting reimbursed,
which is almost all of it.
which is almost all the whole school year, and then we're gonna be back in anyway, so for me, it's stupid for them to say they're gonna, whatever, it would be dumb on their part to try to do it.
It's not like we're overachieving now. So, start the process.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'd start the process, there's nothing else to do besides that.
So basically, we're looking to go back with tar and get started with tar just as soon as they're able to get started.
Yeah.
With that being, so I talked to Kale about this today, so Taher always just says that we're gonna break even on it. That's what you tell me, right?
Last year, they were willing to put in the agreement that they guaranteed that we'll break even. He hasn't said this year, you know, our numbers of free have changed, our number of paying kids have changed. I would think there's a reasonable chance they still would be willing to put that in though, yeah.
So with that being said, I'm not trying to get burnt or make them rich either. So, we do breakfast here, a lot of schools don't do breakfast. We made good money on breakfast, that was evident in the past, we made good money on breakfast.
We were making about 10,000 a year on it in the
That's
last
it?
2 years, yeah.
Okay, I thought it was more than
I
that.
had higher projections if we would have done it this year, because I was counting the food service staff already being there. I had already planned everything for the expenses for the lunch, so there wasn't a lot of
And in the past,
labor
Bob,
expense.
remind me, we were always running deficit in the.
We always used to
$22,000 to
$50,000
$24,000 deficit. every year.
60,000 into Fund 50 to balance it zero out. And then when we got declared a poverty school back in 16, 17, that's what allowed us to bring more money through.
No, I get that, that's where I'm going with this, guys. So
So
when
we're gonna get
we're
reimbursed.
poverty school, so when Taher says you're gonna break even, and we're already getting more funds since 16 or 17, or if the state government decides to give poverty schools even more money, I don't want Taher to sell me the same shit and say, you're still breaking even, don't worry, and all they're doing is padding their pockets.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I know signing up and doing whatever is great, we gotta go that direction, but what is in there when they say, well, you're gonna break even, that if for some reason a bunch of funding comes to Donington, that they don't just take the extra $75,000 of funding, you get what I'm saying?
They don't know what
Yes,
we
they-
get for funding.
They don't know what we get for funding,
They
this
don't.
isn't a flat fee, so
No.
they'll say, hey, we're gonna do this for 70 grand a year.
Cause that's what it was last year, right? It was 20 grand to finish off the year and
When you hire a food service company, you have a choice. You can either pay them so much per meal, and then just count the number of breakfast, number of lunch times, whatever price you agree on, that's it. Or you can pay them a flat fee. We're gonna give you 500,000, you buy all the food, you do all the labor, you do everything. In this case, last year, and what we would be doing here, is an emergency process to bring them in without going through the bid process. You're required to put out an RFP to get bids for multiple companies and all that in normal circumstances. Last year, at the end of last year, they gave us a waiver to skip that. This year, I'm sure they would give us another waiver because it's their fault that we're in this position. And when you're operating on emergency waiver, the only option is to do the per meal price. You can't do the flat fee. So we would have to pay them so much per meal the rest of this year. Then next September, we could agree to a flat fee for the following year after we went through the RFP process and hired them that way.
Did you have something you wanted to?
No, we're good. I just was gonna ask how long the contract lasted with them, what you would be committing.
1 year, yeah.
1 year or through this school year.
There's no requirement for anything. We could sign a 1 month contract with them if they would do it.
so we probably signed a contract to get through the year and then.
And then around February, we would have to put out an RFP and go through the bid process and pick the winner, which
Who else does it besides Taher?
Tahoe is the only one that is a Midwest regional company. There are 3 or 4 other ones that are national, Aramark and some.
Would we even get 3 people to bid on it?
We could, yeah,
There would be 3 people interested in bidding on it?
yeah.
Okay.
So are we ready to look for a motion to go back to Taher as quick?
I don't know, don't necessarily know if we need a motion tonight, we just need the motion when Kale gets the contract and we can approve the contract. We just need to give Kale a heads up to say, hey, you go back and work with Tyre, get us a contract, we can approve.
I still have to verify with the DPI that they'll let us do the emergency thing again. I'm assuming things now, because I haven't been able to get a hold of them, I'm leaving messages, emails every day.
So I think everybody's in agreement, we go back with Tyre, and so once he gets a contract, and then we'll approve that contract and we'll go forward, so.
So the second thing I wrote down was messaging. What we do we put out and when and to whom? Our staff, the community, and now that I feel like we have a direction we're going, I would feel more comfortable putting something out than I did before I came in here.
I wouldn't put it in, I have that road down, messaging, Facebook, paper, whatever, because it looked like the egg was on our head, but if a judge ruled in our favor, I'd like people to know that. But until that 22 days is up, or that 20 days is up, I wouldn't post anything.
No, agreed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do.
No.
But after that, that's.
Even if they appeal it, we
But-
could still post something at that time and say, hey, the judge ruled in our favor, they're still appealing it, just to let the community know what's going on. But that waiting that extra 14 days from now, I agree.
Yeah, but I think it is something worth sharing,
Absolutely.
that
One at a time.
we were,
It's a
you know,
positive.
vindicated, and I think the effort that UKL put into getting the appeal written and we're, you know, showed that we fixed. the
That's a
problem.
good point, Jeff. I mean, I would like to thank Cale for all the time and effort that he put into the appeal. And writing it all up and getting it done.
Should we put something out to the staff?
Yeah.
As soon as we put something out to the staff, it's gonna go wider, but people are already talking about it now. I mean, I've heard people today.
Does it really hurt if you put something out now? And I don't really see what's,
I'm not seeing the downside of putting
No, I
something
mean,
out before the,
before, even before the 14
Yeah,
days.
that's fine, too.
I'm,
Either way, whatever.
So we wait
Well, the
14
staff-
days and they appeal it, and then, but we put something out then, so it doesn't really matter. I would think the sooner the better.
As soon as you put something out to the community, you're gonna have people coming in and asking about the new free and reduced plan, which we're gonna have to do before Tyler gets here anyway.
Might be a big deal, coming over first.
Yeah.
I think updating the staff is good, and we just wait another 10 days or whatever it is.
But then what?
I would be shocked if they appeal, but then again, who knows?
If they're not working, I don't know why he hasn't got a phone call back.
Well, but that doesn't surprise me, because their lawyer is gonna say, don't respond to anything until we figure out what we're gonna do. You know, so that doesn't surprise me.
let's go back.
Oh,
You
I
said
know.
that
Really?
as people are gonna come in and for the free and reduced, and we're gonna have to deal with that before we're talking. How, if we don't have the staff and have the right menu and the right this and the right that, how do we? It seems like
There's a
we're
lot of
getting cards
steps.
as a horse now.
Yeah, there are several steps that have to
I
be
mean,
done.
it's not a loss.
We have to hire additional staff, we have to hire Tyler, they have to train them. We have to put the word out for the free and reduced to do it the government way and get that all in place before they will reimburse us anything. The reimbursements aren't gonna start coming in until we've met all the requirements by the state, by the feds, by everybody.
unless we push it on the legal side.
We can push it and possibly get reimbursements from the past that we've lost from not being in the program, but no new reimbursements are gonna come until we're certified.
Going forward, we won't get reimbursements to we
Yeah.
have.
So they're not.
Cross off, going forward, we won't get any reimbursements to what we're
I don't
paying
think
now.
it's just
so-
something we sit here and just make what you're saying real. I mean, the whole point of us being where we're at is because we got thrown out right away, and obviously they admitted that that was wrong because we won an appeal. And if we can't change that in 2 weeks, I think it's something we could ask that we could get reimbursed. I don't think you just sit here and just let them push you around.
Oh, we
What
can,
you're saying is.
Go back to what was it,
you're
May?
saying is.
I agree, go all the way back to
Like the
that
date
date.
of
Oh, yeah,
the-
no, I agree with that.
And even
Is
now,
that what you're trying
just
to
Yeah.
because they said
That's what I'm
they get
saying.
back on the plan,
No,
doesn't mean
that's
that
not what
we're
Kale's
losing
saying.
that
Kale
time.
agrees to that. What Kale's saying is, once we decide to go, like, let's say we
So
go
it takes some
live,
time.
we're not gonna get reimbursed on the stuff from, let's say, 3 weeks from now to whenever, until everybody's got to get, that's what he's saying.
So
But
all
I would
checks
go
are-
back to the day we hired.
we're not gonna get reimbursed the normal way, but we can ask them for
We can ask
reimbursement
for our
on
back
that.
pay.
That's what you're
Yeah.
saying.
I'm saying from the day we hired
Yeah,
them to the
yeah.
day they start paying.
Yeah.
I'm saying every day in the middle. Because the whole reason we're not getting paid now is because they drew us out and then they admitted fault that that was wrong. And it's not our fault that we can't afford their type of food right now because we're a low poverty school without any money. I think that's a argument we should make and not just say, oh, sorry, yep, you're right. Like,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
From now until the time that we start serving reimbursable meals and get reimbursed from the government, we can ask for all of the losses in there. Once we start serving the reimbursable meals, then we'll ask the federal government for reimbursements like normal.
But that, you're saying though, we have to
We're not
be able
gonna
to
get reimbursable meals until all our check marks are checked.
No, we are, we just may not get reimbursed. We can get the meals, but we just may not get reimbursed until all the check marks are met from going forward.
And between now and that time, we can blame them and try to get reimbursed.
That's what I'm saying.
So, maybe you lost me, so you're gonna start doing free and reduced, as soon as Tall Horse set up, you're gonna start doing free and reduced lunches,
You have to.
Yeah.
even before the federal government checks the boxes?
No,
and
right at that time.
Oh, you're not gonna do that until everybody checks the box, everybody, okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't wanna do it ahead of time.
No. the whole
That would be
thing.
the last box that gets
Thank
checked, but I'm saying they're gonna start coming and asking as soon as word starts.
Sure.
So, this
so
is
it's
a
pretty-
pretty question. When somebody comes in and says, hey, I heard we're back in, I want free lunch.
Yeah, I'd
What do you
say,
say, when we're ready, we'll tell you?
yeah, good news, we're headed toward that. We'll let you know the day that we're able to implement that new plan.
Perfect. Okay,
Good.
so we're gonna make a public announcement then? Yes,
I would,
like tomorrow?
I would do tomorrow, yeah, so we do like a press release or something.
And you're just making it as that we won the appeal.
Yeah,
Just leave it
that
at
we
that.
won the
We
appeal
won it.
and that we're working towards,
Yeah.
you know, and that we're working towards reinstatement and however you want
You
to
don't have to,
word that.
you don't even have to say anything after that.
Jill hasn't called us back yet, that's what I put.
Well, even if they, yeah, we don't even have to mention they can
No,
appeal.
well, she has.
That's right, because they could.
You know Jill, she's got your neighbor, from where you grew up, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
You got her cell number today?
Not at once.
Oh,
Let's take a road trip.
I thought maybe you had her cell number, we can call her up.
That's all I had on my list for things to talk about.
Yeah,
Okay,
She can't block her out.
so second.
Can't block it out.
You're first.
Hello, this is Doug.
same message as you, just before we go, did you wanna say I see any cookie mail about
I
that?
sent out, set up those tours for next, November 12th, not the 5th. We'll depart at 4:15, get to Lancaster at 5 p.m. We'll go around their career center, egg areas, greenhouse that they have there, and then Southwest Tech at 6 p.m. to see their tech ed, egg, woods, and shop business. So November 12th, I sent it to you guys as an email,
Oh, there.
Wednesday night.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
So,
So motion made, to adjourn, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.
Maybe we could,